Computer. Lights.
Good morning, everybody, and happy Monday. It's a new week. We've got new stuff to do and all kinds of new, whatever. It's Monday. It's actually a great Monday. The sun looks like it's out. It looks like it's going to be a great day. So now I'm just setting up for today's Springs. So we're going to save it because this one's the first one. Wow, it's been a while. But we are at 250. So this is Springs number 250. So that's always a good thing. No idea whether I'm getting any kind of audio from the music. I also noticed that we are at low frame rate, which means that we may be having, all kinds of problems. Who knows? So we will get to cracking here. So one of the things that I noticed over the weekend was I didn't do any work here at the tablet. And the more I think about it, the more, and I didn't have any problem with leg cramps and things like that. And the more I'm starting to think about this, the more I'm thinking this chair is to blame. So we're going to spend this week slowly converting this entire office over into standing desks. That's the battle plan. I have these lovely doors out in the garage that are, they're closet doors, but I think it'd be really cool if I could get these closet doors out here, and then I'll put them up here at about this height, I think, right about like here-ish. And then I'll just have standing desks the entire place. It'd be great. It'd be awesome. So that's the battle plan. And then we can do these wonderful standing desks. So there we go. So that's what we're going to be doing this week. And that'll be awesome. So let's go on ahead and switch over to our monitor. I'm going to do our normal housekeeping here because that 239 no longer works. So we'll do a new layer. And then we will take this 250, which in stencil looks cool, but is not what we're going to do. We're going to do... So the reason that I use Arial on this is because it's the easiest to read. It's the simplest. It's not a serif font. Serifs are the little little flourishes on the end of the letters. For example, this is a non-serif font. This is a serif font. You can see all these little flourishes all over it where it like dangles off the side and dangles over the. So that's a serif. These guys are. So I use, like you can see there, and this little tail, and the A looks funny, and there's this thing on the G, and yada, yada, yada. That's a serif font. So I like using Arial when it's an important thing. I really want you to read it. I want to make sure you've got it very clear. Things like that, I'll use a serif font. So, okay. I think we're going to do a one panel today because I think that'd be funny. We haven't done a one panel in a while. And so we're going to do that. These guys now can be kind of, you can turn them off and stuff. And I'm going to give this orange on the background. I believe we've been recently turning that off or on. I can't remember what we're doing with this. I think I like it better on because it's a little bit more muted. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to go in here, and under the two panels, we're going to add a layer. Under here. I'm going for our blue line. Grab our technical pen. Ooh, our technical pen is huge. There we go. So we can always get a good laugh out of an upside down RC, right? I'm gonna put some books out here because I think books are always funny. I think it's always funnier when you're sitting there going, how did he carry all these books? You know? Right? So what we're doing here is just he's had a major spill. Do a pencil and an eraser over there, which I think is funny. There we go. There's like lunch out here. There we go. We'll make sure it also, naturally fell face down. There we go. We're just kind of dressing up the background so I know I've got a background. All right. Let's go on and put in our line work. And when I do my blue lines, I like to do it from far away. That gives me a good feeling of balance, and I can see everything that I need to see on here. Like, this is a good balance for this. Kind of want to see the wreckage stringing along to where he ended up, which implies that he didn't just trip and fall. He cartwheeled 17 times before he got to here. So I kind of like to do that. Then when we get to the inking stage, I get a lot closer. I've got two things going on here, though. I'm going to have a background. So what I'm going to actually do is go to a new raster layer. And let's put that background in real quick, because it's going to need to be something. Right? Need sort of to do a little bit of this kind of thing, Make sure this is lined up with the bottom, otherwise it looks really weird. There we go. Now what I'm going to do with this is we're just going to take and ink it like we'd ink any other thing. Right? I'm going to take this. Let's get ourselves a nice blue of some sort here and ink the entire stinking thing. Okay, yeah, let's undo that. What's your problem? Our problem is we forgot to close the lines. So you got to make sure we close those lines up here. We're going to do some extra work here, so it means duplicating the lines here, but we're not ready to do the ink on top. Why am I doing that? That doesn't need to be done. Just need to make sure this is sealed up. And to double check this, I'll turn off the panel, right? I want to make sure it's all sealed in, right? All this has got to be sealed in. Looks good. The rest of it's not a problem, so we don't have to worry about panel 1. Now we can go in with this nice little like cyanish thing and do that. Darker color for the middle here. Kind of give it a thing. And we're going to take this transparent watercolor brush and just blend in some stuff. I'm going to kind of give it a little bit of that kind of thing going for it. Undo. Do it on top here. Kind of go in here and do this a little bit more like that. This just gives it some depth and a little bit of dynamic. Make it look a little, like it's sort of got some different things going for it. It's not quite as straight up. Watercolor brushes are not really good for light colors like white. They always come up no matter what, darker. So we're gonna have to switch brushes to this big soft, which I really like. Kind of come in here and we're gonna do this kind of thing and just kind of bring it in, man. Bring it in, man. Right. Once we do, we'll be able to blend in. So, and that'll be good. And then we'll take this entire thing and we're gonna overlay. Overlay looks good. We're not gonna overlay. We're gonna just do the normal thing. Just leave it normal. We'll just cut out through it. Won't be a problem. Okay. We take our blend here, and this guy blends, and we'll just blend a little bit, kind of make this blendier. Am I on the right layer? Maybe. So I'm going to make you multiply. Here we go. See, then we can take this entire layer, and we select it like so. We go here, we hit delete. Same thing here, go up here, click there, go down here, hit delete. All right. And that takes away all of that sort of effect going on under there. It's a chatter. Take the blend brush. There we go. I'm just going to blend so that there's no rough edges to it. Right? So we're just blending out a little there like so. Taking sort of the rough edges out. We don't want to draw attention to this background. We just want this background to look good. So nothing with a multiply is going to work on here because this multiplies on. So we're going to do a new raster layer on top. And we're going to do the white on top like this. I'm just going to kind of go in here and just highlight some pieces. Okay. And then this is going to be an overlay like so. Same thing, go in here with the blend tool and just blend it out. Just make it just a little blend like so. And all we're doing is just making this a nice little background that has nothing really, it's not attracting attention, but it doesn't look, it doesn't look seriously, it doesn't draw your eye, right? It doesn't make you go, what? What's going on in the background? Because you don't want people to be attracted to that. You want people to look at our character. But you also want the background to look kind of nice, You don't want it to look just like, who did that? Are you really like doing work? So we're going to take the same thing here and hit that side. And we're going to go to this overlay. We're going to hit delete. I'm going to go back down here. We're going to hit this, go to the overlay, and hit delete. And deselect. Now all we need to do is just turn off everything that's not part of this project. Like this. And that just leaves these 3 on, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this normal layer here. Control-Shift-E. That made all the layers merge together. They're all one layer now. Makes it a whole lot easier. Select in here. We're going to then just get a normal gradient. And usually I have foreground to background. So our foreground to background is that, and that's what it would look like. I don't know if I like that so much. Let's take a look at some other color options. Kind of be nice to have some kind of green-ish carpet, because then we can have sort of this going for it. There we go. More like that. All right. And the next thing we're going to do, we hit open. We're going to bring in that background that we usually have. All right. And this guy we can put in the background back here and just kind of grab a lot of this particular picture. Copy. Go in here and hit paste. We'll put behind that layer. Like so. All right. Just enough that you can see what's going on there, right? We turn on one panel to get kind of an idea of what's inside that panel. And we then hit the one panel and go to the outside of that one panel, grab the plane, and we hit delete. And all that does is just remove everything that's not in the panel direct. So there we go. Now the background is pretty much done. I might want to go in here and just kind of take this guy and take my big soft. We're just going to hit it with a little bit of dark over here just to darken it out. So I'm going to take a new layer. I'm going to kind of, this time I'm going to take it with a much bigger brush. I'm just going to do this. Right, and this gives us sort of, it's called vignetting, but it's darkening out just a little bit of this center section here, or darkening out the outside section like so. And then that way, it just kind of has a little bit more of a darkness feel to the outside that gives it a little bit more of a feel of that. And we're going to also just go through here and just do this. And this is a thing that happens when you have light at a wall. You have light at a wall, no matter what, the light can't ambiently bounce in a corner. So light normally hits and then makes a 90-degree turn and heads back out, just like any kind of Pong or whatever. But what happens is, as the light starts approaching the corner, a lot more of it gets caught and doesn't bounce back into your eyes. And that causes the corner to get darker. So the very, very corner will get dark. All right, so we'll take some of this out, like that. But the very, very corner itself is going to be a little darker than the rest of the room. And that makes, and the shinier the metal, the smaller that shadow is going to be. You can see that that already looks a lot more realistic. Like there was, there we go. That just gives it a little bit more, we call it ambient occlusion. I'll do this, bring that vignetting back in, because we got kind of a little bit under there. Bring this vignetting back in just a little bit. And then maybe I'll take my blend tool and raise it up. I'll just kind of come in here and just blend that, right? Just blend out that vignetting just a little bit, because then it's a little too sharp now, you know? Now all I need to do is go in here from this side, hit that, and then we can hit this and then go work like that. We'll also make sure that it's not outside the panel. So we'll do this, and then we'll go into the shadow, hit one, and then there we go. Now we got a nice background. Looks cool. Things are going on in the world here, right? Let's see the bump here. I'm just kind of take that bump down right here. Smooth that up just a little more. Here we go. Kind of smooth this out a little bit more. So I'm just touching this very, very lightly using my pen. The pen has a sensitivity value, so pressing the pen's tip allows it to be very sensitive. So if you hit very lightly, you can just gently influence things without really doing heavy hitting on this. So, all right, now we're all in this same spot. I'm going to turn off the panel edge, and we're just going to Control-Shift-E, and that background is now cooked. That's what they call kind of baking it. Now we're going to turn the blue line back on, which tells us some things about what's going on here. And now I'm going to be able to go in and put in all of the art. So let's do that next. I'm going to take the inking pen. I use my technical pen now. There we go. We're going to go in here. We'll start with some of the easy stuff, right? So these are, oops, I already made a mess of things. Right. There we go, just like this. We're just putting in, this is paperwork that he clearly dropped. There we go. We'll put this book in. And to the horror of my father, I will bend the pages at the risk of having his ghost attack me in my sleep or something. We'll do that. There we go. Right. There we go. I got a couple of the books there. And another book right here. Clearly carrying a lot of books. We're going to have a piece of paper here. Probably the most important piece of paper because it has coffee now spilling on it. All right, so this is the most important, clearly, piece of paper. All right, so the ink's blurring here. And then we'll sort of do this like splatter effect. All right. Maybe he has a Twinkie. And I don't know why I keep hitting. And now I have to hit the eraser. Because we actually need to kind of redo this. This is his lunchbox. So we want his lunchbox to be upside down because it's important. All right, so we've got his lunchbox and there's the lid. All right, so there we go. I don't know if we should even ask how the lunchbox fit a slice of pizza that large, but you know what? I'll make the lunchbox a little larger just for that. You'll notice I make the lunchbox larger, not the pizza smaller, because the pizza's funny. So, there we go. There we go. So we'll hit back here. And it has to have these inner tracks going. So I'll have inner treads here. Maybe this tread kind of goes out like so. Oh, you know what we need to do next week? Talk about getting like a standing desk for TV. I think that's funny. Really doesn't have to be that complicated, come to think of it. You know? Well, again. There we go. We'll duplicate this. Well, I'm still not happy with this. Let's work a little bit here on first of all, we can now clear the blue line because we don't need the blue line anymore. Well, let's work a little bit on this, huh? Because I feel like this leg needs to be more distorted or out or something. Just kind of cleaning up the art over here. Because, I mean, I'm looking at this, it's a little sloppy, right? I mean, it kind of came in here to this little subsection and just got a little sloppy. Easily do better than this. I went the wrong way. Undo. Go this way. totally went the wrong way. Like confused, I think. Perspective confusion. I feel like this is way too close to the other wheel. Okay. Like so. Language has some kind of like piston. That's really. And we'll kind of talk about the innards of these guys. There we go. There we go. A little bit better there. I'm feeling a lot more like that's a reasonable. Here we're going to do a new raster layer. We're actually not. That's silly. I don't know why I did that. We're going to duplicate this layer. Yeah, this goes. We'll duplicate it. We'll bring back the background because I need my guides. All right. So we're going to do orange with this guy. So we're going to turn the gradient back on for this. Everything's already locked in for that, so we don't have to worry about that. There's the symbol. The titles come back in, and we're good. And that's all we need. You and you will just do this. And we'll pick.
Incoming call from Maya.
Well, I'm not seeing anybody on the show, so real quick. Actually, I will text her and say, in show, is it urgent? There we go. And then we'll see whether this is an urgent emergency or whether she just forgot that I'm in show. Both of those are plausible. It is not urgent. Yeah. Will call you at 11. Smiley face. Because when you talk to your wife, you should always smiley face. so she knows not to kill you. So, okay. There we go. That's funny. We are trying to refinance our house, and it has been one bizarre thing after another. It's actually taken us longer to refinance the house than it took to buy the house, which I find somewhat disturbing. Actually, not just somewhat. I find it very disturbing. It's taken a very long time to refinance the house. So, and I'm not exactly sure what to think about that. That's a very strange thing. Okay, his pistons probably should be on the same color codes as Rover here. Rover's got like little gray piston things going for him. So I'm going to make those all that way. And you know what? I kind of like the idea of maybe his wheels being gray. Maybe the wheels are gray too. Makes it look a little bit more industrial. We'll do this guy is in gray as well. These little mini rollers inside here. I don't know what that's called. The tanks have these. They're guides of some sort, but they're just little rollers that keep the tread going in the right direction. That's what he's got, is these little rollers going on here. And take the pin underneath here, right? We're just gonna, just under here, just kind of do this. And grab this guy here, and we're just trying to kind of get rid of some of this chatter flashing. Unfortunately, what happened here is I must have tapped the gray or the black lines, because now all the black lines have turned gray and you can see them. So we're just gonna, whoa, that's not the color we wanted. Look good, because we kind of need to go in here and let's clean up a little over here, right? Because this is not going that direction all the way. So here we go. Just kind of go through here. We'll clean up a little. That's cleaning up a little. The one thing we don't want to do is forget that his eyes have a little bit of white in them. It's an important thing. Mostly I want to do this in the dark areas, because that's where this gray came up. This was an error on my part, not Clip Studio Paint's, so I can't gripe. I was the one that kind of, wow. So my pen has the button on my pen is right mouse click. And when you right mouse click in Clip Studio Paint, you snag the color that it's over, right? So clicking here snags this color. And so that's one of the things I love about Clip Studio Paint, is how fast I can just snag the local color. Most of the time when I'm doing things like this, I'll just snag that color, and like I snagged the color of his eyes. Made it easy, right? And one thing I did notice, didn't see that before, is this guy. I have to go in here. Their neighborhood. After my show. So anyway, we'll go in here. We're just going to get rid of that because that's a little like weird thing. It's like a tail on the tail and stuff. So, okay. Now we've done that. And since we did all of these other things in here, I'm just going to go on ahead and just give random colors to these books, usually picked out from these guys, right? So we'll do that. And this guy's got that color. And we'll do some purple for this one because it looks cool. All right. And I think that's it. The rest of this is paper. For paper, I'm going to take this gray and go a little lighter. Just do that, and then that, and then that, and that, and that. Right? And in here too. Undo. There, and then there, and then there, and there. Right? And kind of have to make sure it extends because one of the things that Clip Studio Paint has in the fill is its close gap here. Right? So that's how much of a gap you get on this. This, however, is darker because it got hit with coffee. So I want it to be sort of brown like so because it got hit with coffee. Right? So his coffee is here. So let's go ahead and kind of get some of this coffee color going for us right here. Right? He even got coffee on his book. You want to talk about a bad day. Coffee got on his book. That's enough to make you sad. Right there. And pizza generally is sort of a light tan. So we'll do that, right? But the cheese is very yellow because this is a comic and you want it to illustrate that it's cheese. So you put that there and that there, and the pepperonis will be comically red, naturally. Because otherwise you can't tell that it's pizza. A pencil is yellow with a very pink eraser, and it's wood on this side. So we'll just kind of go over here to this color. It looks good. Right? Apples are red, so that's good. A Twinkie is yellow or something. I don't know. And then just to make sure that these all look like something that he, had in his box of weird things or whatever, I'm going to make sure they're all just random colors. That makes it cooler. Then he had a jar of probably strawberry preserves or something. I don't know. Right? Looks like that with a nice friendly green label. And it got splattered on the walls. So he had some kind of strawberry preserves that blarp everywhere. Right? His lunchbox is going to be a dark gray. And grab the lock. And his mug should be sort of a nice orange, is what I think, because it's a funny color to make your mug out of, right? Okay. I'll look back out again to make sure that everything's been flattened, right? And tap the save button, pop our fingers, and you know what time it is? It's time for a quick break. So, we're doing great on this one. We're already at the point where, let's stand up. Okay, let's stand up and take a quick break. So, oh man. and go for a little walk. We'll walk over here. Outside. Everything looks wonderful out there. Come back over here. All right. My buddy Alex was commenting that one of the things he thinks that we all should do at some point in time is that we should get up and do something different at our breaks. So you can, read a magazine or something that goes on, something different than what you normally would do on your break. So that's an interesting concept. I like the idea. Think it's great. So we'll move back to monitor. All right. We took our break. We took our break a little early. So, I think Alexa didn't quite catch that we were doing that. That's all right. Not a problem. So we've done all of our colors here. I'm going to do the same thing I usually do. We're going to then add a raster layer. And then this guy will be at 33. And multiply. And we'll go to black. Right? And we grab our technical pen. And we'll get close again. All right? This is just shading, right? And shadows here. And we'll shade everything. And it gives us a little bit of depth right here. All right. Shadow this. Give it a little bit of shadow there. We'll definitely shadow our apple. Apples are a traditional drawing widget. There's your pepperoni. This guy just needs to be shadowed on this side and a little bit right there to kind of give you an idea of, bad things have occurred. All right. Let's give a little bit of edge to this guy because he's flat. The pencil's roundish, so make sure it has sort of a round thing. I don't even know what these things are. Maybe these are his dice from his dice box. Who knows? And then the Twinkie gets a little bit of shadow too. Then we move over here. This coffee mug definitely is going to get shadowed there and along here and along here. And let's go ahead and just give some depth to the poor coffee, right? It's kind of funnier to kind of make it look like it's slightly round. And give the coffee mug some shadow. Paper doesn't get any depth, but books will. Right. There we go, just like that. Let me move paper will get a little bit of depth, right? Just a little bit, like so. Maybe it's lifting up just a little bit off the ground to give it just sort of a feel that something's going on here. Same thing with this piece of paper here. And this guy's kind of laying on top, so he'll get a little bit too. And then we'll want a big shadow underneath RC. Right? And he's lying on the ground, so we'll do this. Poor guy. All right, so we're going to do that, and then we'll give a shadow around the edge here, like so. All right, now I'm working in here. Kind of want to give a shadow on the underside of the wheels. So like this. And these wheels are concave, so the shadow is on the wrong side. This gives us a feeling of depth and a feeling of space inside here. Right? Like this happens, right? Like that. There we go. We'll do the same thing up here on this wheel. And then we'll do this. And we'll come back with a highlight on the metal pieces. And it helps us a lot make that look like a thing. It'll come around like so. And knowing that the lighting is over here, we're going to work that way. We're going to kind of do this too here. We're going to do this. Right? And then these pages got all crinkled up, so I'm going to kind of mess with them a little here. Somehow my stamp, it's on multiply. That makes sense, actually. We don't want to move it from multiply. We just need to move it. That's all. Move it over there. Now I'll come back through with my eraser on the wrong layer. I'll come back through with my eraser and just smooth this out. Let it be less rough, right? Okay, we're going to come back in. We're going to do this, and then this, and that. This, and this. And I'm going to do kind of a little bit of this. All right. Clean this guy up in here, like so, and like so. Just get that tap there. Now we've got the shadows in. We'll put in a new raster layer. This one's overlay. And we go to white. And this is where we highlight things, right? We just kind of go in here and we need to be on not eraser. And we just highlight pieces like so. Right? Because this just gives us just a little bit of like a rim light around the outside edge here of everything. We should probably get in closer rather than risk doing this kind of from far away, right? And here's where we can really make the metal pieces look like metal pieces. Because this gray works really well on being, there we go. But when it's inside here on the belt like that, it doesn't come out as bright. Kind of around like that. Just to give us a little bit of an idea of the shape. All right. So we go over here. highlight just a small amount of this. And you never want to give hard corners on things. Round out the corners a little. Now here's the thing with the coffee. We're not going to do anything with it because it's going to be highlighted. But we are going to put like this on the mug. And the Twinkie. Tell them about the Twinkie. Right? Since this is metal, we really want to make a highlight in here like this and like so. Really like make it look like it's shiny, maybe slightly scuffed, right? That works. The jam, I'm going to make this a different, that'll give a feeling that it's a different level of things. Right, so we'll give that like that. And the apple. Not only is the apple going to have a little bit of a highlight like this, but we're going to also put in the highlight effect on it in a minute too. There we go, to the pizza. And all should be good for that. And the last step then is water highlights. So we'll do a new raster layer. And this doesn't have any settings or anything like that. It's just white. And that allows us to do sort of this, right? And let's come along here and give this the very liquidy feel of water, or in this case, coffee, that has splattered all over everything. Because liquid reflects very well, right? We're also going to do just a touch right here on his mug, because his mug would be wet still from falling over. We'll do the same thing up here with the jam. And the dots make it look like it has like some kind of reflection from the lights. The apple gets a shine like so, right? And the pizza really doesn't. But we might get a little bit of a shine on the pencil. We'll put some of the shine out here on the jam that splattered on the wall. Right? We actually should put that on top of the line work. And there we go. That's how we do all the color work on this. Right? So then we take a break. Okay, there we go. Now with this shine, the other thing I can do, which will look cool, is this. If I do that, it looks like we're dealing with a window, although I think I probably should make this wider and do something more like that. But we can also do that if we need to make this look like a window. I don't think I really want to. I think I like it the way it is. So we'll call this good. do one last little check over everything, make sure everything's there, make sure all of it looks great. It all definitely looks like he just crashed and ended up upside down, and everything is funny, and now he wants a mulligan. So all is good, right? So we will then do the change canvas size. And we'll drop that down to there, right? And that trims off that top part, which is what we need. And then we will, we need to kill this. Do not save. We'll take this and then we'll save as. And when we save as a PNG. Right? Now it's saved as a PNG. It'll give it a second here. It gets kind of freaked out a little bit. At least now it does this. It used to blank out, completely black, but now it just extends out and takes the bottom of the thing out. I don't know why it does that, but that's okay. Why, thank you. Thank you so much, Ghost Hand. I looked at various like backgrounds and things like that from a lot of old animation things. I really want Springs to have an animation feel, like it feels like it's from an animation style of some sort, like it's a cartoon. I think that has a lot to do with the nature of what kind of artist I am. So, okay, so I think we've got this comic done. It's a good old geeky joke for those of you who are not familiar with what mulligan means. Just in case, mulligan is when you draw cards in a card game and all of the cards suck. So you just say mulligan, and that means you can burn all the cards you got and draw a new set of cards. So yeah, this is good old RC saying, that's it. I just want mulligan. I want to start over. Please. So, okay, the next thing we do is head out to our social media, which I don't usually bring up the social media here, but I'll go on ahead and I'm not going to bring it up here. I'm going to go on ahead and I'm going to put it out to the social media. And there's always a weird thing. I hope they fixed this. Going from Facebook and posting dually to Instagram and Facebook. It's stuck. Has always been sort of a little bit complicated. Instagram uploads. These are my hashtags. So we bring up my hashtags. All of these hashtags are, I've set up sort of all my hashtags and I just copy and paste them in now. And that way I don't have to worry about them anymore. So I'll create a post. We set it for both. Add photo. I'm just telling you what's going on here because I don't want to actually put these things up on. Let's go to Springs, go to our 2021. This is our newest one, 250. We see whether it says, oh no, you can't do that to Instagram. Yep, the aspect ratio is wrong. It always is wrong, and it's aggravating because it now will not post until I fix it. Which, ironically, just needs to be at like 1 pixel shorter. So, okay. Now we go Mulligan Mondays. Then for Instagram, we say all of our hashtags because we've got to put hashtags in. And then Mulligan Mondays, Springs comic. Fewer than 1,000 posts. Well. Okay, I edited that. Why is it not? Oh, because I didn't hit apply. Weird. Now we save. Or is this one of those you can't actually apply? Every one of these is something weird. It's always something. Now it won't. Right, exactly. It's not formatted properly. Well, makes it even worse that Facebook's not allowing me to actually edit it. It's just saying it's the wrong aspect ratio. And it won't let me edit to 1 to 19 to 1, 1.91 to 1. Okay. 1.91 to 1 pixels. And then we'll just re-edit it over here. So you are, let's see where you are pixel wise. This is I have to do this every single time. Change image resolution. 100 by 628. Okay, so it is in fact 1.91 to 1. Okay, save as. Right? A. We saved it. Now go back into Facebook. We'll remove it. Add photo. A. This one is exactly 1 point. See, and it says it's the wrong aspect ratio. It is exactly the right aspect ratio, but it won't let me publish until I fix the aspect ratio, which really is square. That's what it really wants. And that the thing that really bugs me. There we go. Now it did it right. Wow, that took a lot of effort. Excuse me. All right. Now we're posting to Instagram. Right. Back in the day when we had to do things in 320 by 200. Okay. There we go, guys. I posted Springs comics out there. I usually go to my GS Davis page, my GS Davis art page, and make sure that I've switched over to my personal thing. It took me a long time to figure out how to interact with my own page. There we go. And it just comes back out, and it's on my personal page now. There we go. Whew, that took a lot of effort. All right. Okay. So there we go. We have done our comic for the day. I actually have to cross town and drop off that hard drive, this hard drive right here. This hard drive is a wonderful little hard drive, and I've got to drop it off at the local. Oh, hey, here's the box for this hard drive. Perfect. But not the thingies. Where's the thingies for this hard drive? There's a little, like, the clamshell. I don't know what happened to the clamshell. I'm going to have to find the clamshell. Okay, well, I'll have to go hunting for the clamshell for this thing, because it went somewhere. So anyway, I'm going to cut the show short by 30 minutes today, but we'll be back tomorrow. I've got a bunch of work to do. I think we're going to be working on buildings and vehicles tomorrow. So it's going to be, there's some background work that needs to be done before we get moving. But there's also pages to be started now. So we've got pages we're going to be doing tomorrow too. So we've got a lot of work on our plate. So I'm going to take today, go get my kid up and get him so that he can cross town with me and go get lunch and everything like that. And so it's all good. I'll see you tomorrow. It was good to see you, Ghost Hand. Thanks for joining me. And I'll see you too. And you have a good day as well. And so until tomorrow, keep your eyes on the stars. Bye-bye. Computer, good night.